Well, fancy seeing you here. We said it was over, but I couldn't resist. So it's been well, let's have a look how long it's been. What are we on, 130 hours? God damn, I didn't realise it was quite that long. Where was the last save at the end of the last episode? There it is. Oh, 81 hours. So that's 50 hours apparently that I've done. I don't think I've quite done it. I've done a lot of leaving it idle while I've been doing other stuff, so maybe that's what's accounting for that. But we've done quite a lot of stuff. I'm essentially about to complete phase 4, but we're not going to do it. We're not going to just jump straight into my save game and look at that. What I'd like to do is like load some of the save games as we went through. So over here I've got like I've taken a screenshot of my thing. You can see these were the first ones I did, and then these ones up here were the second ones I did. I just ran out of text space, so we're going to go through this list in a vague sort of order, but I'm going to actually try and load the save games to show you it, because I think if we jump straight into my latest save game, there's so much stuff all at once, and there's like drones everywhere, there's lots of stuff. So we'll try and do it this way, so we can sort of slowly talk through things, and hopefully we can see how things are pieced together, and I can talk about what we did, and give you guys some pointers maybe on phase 4 if you're interested. So, or just some of the stuff some weird stuff definitely happened. I can't remember off the top of my head, but maybe as we go through this, it'll come back to me. We'll see. But I'm dead pleased. This is the first time I've gone this far in the game, and I don't feel overwhelmed anymore. I feel like, oh, I got this. This is easy. Not easy necessarily, but definitely more straightforward. So the first thing we're going to look at then is my redone aluminium mine. Aluminium factory, sorry, not mine. So we built this. I built a very rough and ready version of this last time round, and this is what I ended up. It was the first project I took on, and I did some rework. We've laid it out a bit better. I'm using more bauxite, and I've sort of optimized this for production. I know there are some issues with how I've done this that won't be fixed at the moment. I ended up fixing much later. When I came back here and I was like, oh, why is everything stopped? You know, that sort of thing happens sometimes. You're like, why is this entire factory not working anymore? Usually just one easy thing. But so what we'll do is, before we look at this and see how much it's producing, or maybe we'll start with this actually. I love the hover pack. Did I say that? I love it. It's absolutely great. But what we're producing here, we've got a whole bunch of constructors and assemblers here. So we're making 90 clad aluminium sheets a minute in these 3 assemblers right here, and they need the sort of aluminium ingots and copper. And if you remember, there was some copper just down the way there. I've ended up just using a train. You can just see the station here. There's a train that goes down there to get some copper, and he goes and gets some quartz as well for this silica that we also needed to increase the production of the ingots here in these foundries. So these guys here are creating our casings. We've got 50 cases and 50, so we've got 100 cases a minute being made in 90 aluminium sheets. They're just going into depots and storage here at the moment, with some overflow in the middle. So if we just whiz around this way, we'll have a quick look at these little cannons I've built as well. I'm very pleased with these. These are my these are a blueprint. Does it? I don't know. Why are the blueprints always in a different order? Does anybody know? It's very annoying. But essentially, I'm guessing that the blueprints must be tied to like your save game. You know, like you make a set. This save game's called Overexplained, for example. So I think because I hadn't created all of these at this point, I don't think. But anyway, so I've made a little launcher blueprint for myself, which is one of my favourites. And I also made like a little add-on for him, and maybe we'll use him. So look, we can place him like that, and essentially, I've got this little add-on here, which lets me just add on extra jumps, extra speed if we need it. So yeah, he's been quite saved my butt a bunch of times, he has. But anyway, right, let's was this at the point where I had other fuel yet? I don't think it is. Oh no, I have got packaged turbo fuel, but I don't seem to have any. Let me just have a look. Have we got any in here? No, I don't think I'm at the point where I've started. So I did start manufacturing that, but I don't think we've done that yet. So we'll just stay on our green fuel for now. But anyway, this is our train station. He comes and drops off these goods we just talked about a minute ago. One pro tip that I did notice, one of the things I had to fix later, was these belts. It only seemed to... I've used the belts that are appropriate for the amount of resource that are being pulled, I think. But for some reason, there's something about, like, after a while, once they had chewed through all the backlog of copper and quartz that was in there, the last machines in the manifolds weren't getting enough before the train came and delivered again because it was moving so slow. So essentially, I just upgraded everything to like top tier belts like this, and then that just seemed to stop that issue because the next delivery would be sent down. The issue was the train was coming in time and sending things in time, but they were slowly moving down the belt when the machines were empty. So just increasing the belt speed just seemed to fix the issue essentially. It doesn't quite make sense to me that it did, but anyway, that's how I fixed it. So if you get stuck on something like that, that's what you can try. Anyway, let's pop down here real quick. The train's just parked up because he can't empty, and I've told him to just wait until he's empty before he goes to pick up more. Maybe I should change that actually. Maybe that would help. But anywho, so down here you can just see another train station there in the distance. That's our copper pickup. So, and it always amuses me coming from this way because I think my second save gate was on this map. I love this starting map. It's probably my favourite one. What's this called? The Rocky Desert. Very cool. Very cool. So here you can see there's nothing major here. We've literally just got one miner and a smelter down there making us some ingots that are coming up, and they're just ferrying into here, just ready to be collected by the next time the train comes. And then if we head this way real quick, I wonder if this is one of those times I should just make one of my launchers and go for a quick fly up over this hill, because it'd probably be a bit quicker than this. Where is he? Let's do a launcher about here. Is that going to get us high enough? Might be a bit close. Oh god, it's a bit close to my conveyor belt as well, which is interesting. But we'll just see how it goes. Where's a power line? Here we go. Oh, and the other thing I've really taken to doing that I've never done before is including power like this on the blueprints. So important, I think, because it just saves you loads of time. I don't know why they made it so that these things, you know, these little connectors, they should just function like a basic power pole. I don't know why they limited to one connection. It just creates busy work that isn't very fun, I don't think. Although I suppose it is quite fun to try and solve it and go, oh yeah, I can use a blueprint to do that. But it's still just like a little bit more painful than it should be, I think. Oh, dear me. That was a bit embarrassing, wasn't it? Let's see if we can do that again. Come on, we can do it. Yeah, just enough height. Perfect. So, hang on, where is he? Should be just over the other side of here, I think. There we go. So that train goes through a big tunnel full of spiders down there. And then we come down to here. And again, there's nothing too exciting here. We've just got a very simple setup where there's just a miner spitting out a whole bunch of quartz. So that's all coming this way. And the train comes when he's ready, picks all that stuff up and heads home. So I think that's probably it for this bit. I'm just trying to think, what did I do next? So according to my list, I did radio control units next. So let's have a quick look at the save games. And we'll see. Right, aluminium finished. Supercomp cat and cable done. Okay, we'll load this one, because Supercomputers was next on the list after this, along with high-speed connectors. So we'll load this one. This was in, or maybe actually let's just do when Supercomputers was finished, and then I can just whiz around a whole bunch of stuff in one go. So the next thing I wanted to make was the radio control units, and the reason I wanted to do that was because I wanted to start doing drones, and you can see I've got some drone ports here. Very cool little guys indeed. But this is my supercomputer factory. It's a bit of a beast. But before we look at that, we'll go and see the radio control units and where I put them and how we did that. It's quite a simple build if I remember correctly. We need to put our tools away. Have we Oh dear. God damn it. That wasn't a very good jump, was it? Have I got heals? I did, actually. I don't know why I'm worried about healing. I did turn off the enemies. I got to the point where I was just fed up of fighting them. Did I actually open this one? Wonder if I've opened that on my main save. Oh, this is going to be long. It's alright, we'll drop down here. And we'll just chuck down another cannon and shoot ourselves over. Oof. Yeah, radio control units was quite straightforward. I can't remember exactly what we even need for them. Where's my blueprint? See, I swear they're in a different order again now. Very strange how it does that. Can you go there? That's good enough to me. Whoop! But yeah, we did the RC units are just done over here in our main area where we've got the computers and everything getting made. I'll just do a little float over. I'm actually going to turn the fog off. I've been playing with the fog off the whole time. It's so much better, I think. Being able to see into the distance. As shonky as this sort of level of detail is sometimes in the background, I don't really care. I think being able to just see stuff from far away is so much more useful. Right, so here's our radio control units. What is he being fed again? Oh, aluminium casings, crystal oscillators, and computers. Right, so obviously the crystal oscillators we've got just down, they're over this way actually, down by our train station if you remember. So they're getting manufactured down there. We've got the computers getting made in this one here. I can't remember if I slooped this. Yeah, it looks like it is glowing purple like that. Yeah, so we're pretty much using all of these computers, if I remember correctly at the moment, for various things, for supercomputers and in here as well. But we just needed the aluminium casings. So to bring the aluminium casings, I've actually put a drone port over here. So I'd made enough stuff that I could build a few drone ports before fully automating everything. So we just got this guy down here, and you can see, look, it's a bit dark maybe, but there we go. We just got a belt coming underneath that goes all the way over to the factory, and the drone just goes back and forth, bringing us some more aluminium casing every now and again. So that was radio control units. They were pretty straightforward, to be honest. No big deal at all. And I think we are making 4.5 a minute, and they're good. They're used for several things. Like if we have a quick look in the codex, what they not? Oh no! At this point, I didn't have the recipes that use them. So we'll have a look at that in a little while and see what else radio control units can make. But we needed them. We need them for something like for one of the those objective items at the top. I'm sure we do. Anywho, right. So we've looked at those high-speed connectors and supercomputers. Let's go back and have a quick look at the supercomputer factory because it is a monster. And I was very pleased with it, actually. It was a good build. It took me bloody ages. And it was one I actually used the planner on the website that we looked at before to help me prepare. Although I did find that a bit stressful in itself, just because when you use that tool, it gives you all these like really annoying little decimal places on lots of stuff. In fact, have I got it open in another window? Let me see. Yeah, I have. Hang on. Look, if we just look at this real quick. Which one was it? Where's the... Oh, maybe I don't have it here anymore. But if you look at something like... Oh, here we go. Let's look at this one. High-speed connector factory. Yeah, this is the one. So where you end up with these things like this, 164.107, 5.47. What I ended up doing was taking the advice of a good friend. Thank you, Dan. And just ignoring this and just assuming I need 6 of it. Round these up to the nearest number of constructors and then just overfill them with stuff. If the miners get backed up and the miners pause and start, I don't really care. So that's the approach I've taken. It's just made making the rest of the stuff so much easier. Let's just get a quick bit of power to this cannon and we'll fly over to our supercomputer factory. Whip. Okay. Get our proper backpack on. Where is supercomputers? Oh god, it looks so empty here. I've built quite a lot. By the time we get to the later save, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. We got stuff down here, stuff over here, stuff down here. Oh, exciting times. But yeah, this factory is an absolute beast. And maybe actually we'll go up onto the top of the mountain first because this was the first part. So the computers needed, we needed some, oh, there goes a drone. Hello, mate. You might be coming up here, actually. You must be going over to this one, I'd imagine. So this is my Caterium ingot mine. We needed to make, I think, a load of quick wire for the supercomputers factory. So my plan originally was to make the quick wire up here and ship it, but it would be too much quick wire for the fastest. I think we needed something like 1,000 quick wire a minute, something like that, right? It's quite a lot. And that's too much for my fastest conveyor belts. So I just opted to do the ingots, which we needed 200 a minute of instead. So that's much easier to manage. So they just fill up this drone, all coloured nice and yellow, so I recognise the drone when I see him flying around. But he just goes down. He just takes those Caterium ingots down there over and over. And these were some new funky sort of compact manifold blueprints I made. So I did these for every major sort of constructed type building and smelters as well. Well, I haven't done foundries. I need to maybe do that because this style was so useful. Building it in this way has really helped me. I think it keeps things. I build so much faster when it's like this. It's much easier this way. So yeah, enjoying that. I like being able to see all the bits moving as well. It's very helpful. So if we go over this way next. So over here, what we've got is, what was over here? Copper, I think. We needed some copper stuff. I think we just got cable, maybe? What's down here, lads? Is it cable? Yes. So we've got cable coming to this one. Similar thing. We need some cable down in our computer factory. So this is where the cable comes from. We've got a little drone. They fly everything down just to where is the? Can we see the sites from the site? The landing sites? Oh dear. Still, lads, after like 400 or 500 hours or whatever ridiculous amount of time it is, I still can't press the right buttons when I want to. Very annoying. Anyway, you can just see where my cursor is now. That's where the two drone ports are. But this is the supercomputer factory. And if we look again, you should be able to notice that I have used the same sort of... Come on, ping me. There we go. The same sort of manifold blueprints again. Because they're just very nice for compact, like squeezing everything in really tight. So let's try and... I think we'll start at the end here. So these two guys here, I started putting big signs up to try and help me. I should probably put a little sign that says how many a minute I'm making, just so I can know without having to go up and use the machines all the time. Going a bit ham with the Soma sloops at the moment. Soma sloops are so good though. Makes the production of stuff so much easier than expanding when you can just chuck a Soma sloop in and then go and find some more. There's loads of them. It seems quite easy. But well, when you're talking about just completing the main objectives of the game anyway. Right, so here's our supercomputers. They needed, God, so many things. They needed computers, which we build on site here. Everything's built on site here, essentially, right? The only thing we're bringing in is those materials from up on top of the hill. So yeah, they need a lot of mats. The high-speed connectors especially are very complicated. And then we've got different sort of sub... You can just see they're in sort of little groups. I wasn't sure how to lay this out. This just sort of organically ended up this way. I started with these manufacturers here, and then just laid the other things out in blocks, and then just left myself loads of room to put in conveyors and stuff to get everything hooked up. So here we've got the supercomputers right at the end. 2 manufacturers pumping out those, about 2 and a bit per minute. So I think we've got about 5-6 supercomputers a minute. This is normal. This is our Caterium computers. So these use an alternate recipe that uses rubber instead of plastic, which is quite cool. So I've got 3 of those. Then I've also got another computer factory here, and this is something I wouldn't have probably done, see, if I'd done this myself, but because I used the planner, this is how it ended up sort of coming out, and I just sort of followed it blindly. I wouldn't do that again. I don't think the planner was actually that useful. I think I've now got confidence, especially because I've done the rest of the stuff since now without using the planner. Much easier, I think, now that I just round everything up and just overproduce a bit on the earlier stages of production. It just seems quite easy. Anyway, so this is normal computers, need a bunch of resources for those. Then we got these guys. So this is our high-speed connectors. That's one of the sources of quick, like 210 quick wire is a lot. I did want to overproduce these a little bit so that we're not using all of them. I think probably 3/4 of them are going into making the supercomputers, and then the rest is going into storage and being sunk. Just because they become like a building block, I think. Do they? Can't remember. Anyway, I felt like they were, so that's why I did it. I've got all of these assemblers making circuit boards. A whole, look how many we need. And they're using an alternate recipe, which is the electrode circuit board, which is really good compared to the normal one. Just these easy resources. I could make You know, so essentially what we've got here then is all of these refineries making plastic, rubber, petroleum coke, that we need to satisfy all of this stuff. And then I've also got a load of fuel byproducts over here. This all worked like kind of straight away. There were some issues where the belts were getting backed up. I don't know what it was. I upgraded all the belts and then suddenly everything started moving. Maybe there was one piece of 60 a minute belt somewhere that I didn't notice. But yeah, now that this is all, since it's been running, touch wood, even 50 hours later or whatever, this is all still working. So this is a great little factory, very happy with it. We've got a load of fuel here, which was great. So I just siphoned off a little bit of extra plastic to make some canisters so that we can send that off to feed to our drones. So they got plenty of fuel to go. And then all the rest is just getting sunk, essentially. I think we're making the drones need about 20 fuel a minute, if I remember correctly, which you can check just by looking at the drone port. Maybe we'll go and look at that. But these these packages, they're making 40 each, so we're making 120 fuel a minute here, which is just so much, but quite handy. I can expand this, and we do expand this in time because I add on another drone port to send this supercomputer somewhere else. But if we look at a drone port like this, this shows you here how much it is per trip and then how much it is per minute, how long that takes, etc. And I think the way that these guys work is they fill up with fuel when they're about to take off. So the station itself has got 100, and then when he's ready and you give him a route, which you do by looking at this screen here, and you select a destination for it in this drop down, suddenly he'll have an active route, and then he'll take the amount of fuel he needs from this 100, so he calculates that automatically, and then he'll fly off. If there's any reason he can't land the other side, like I've had it once where I forgot to power up the drone port, he'll just circle out forever until you fix the problem. Fuel doesn't actually matter. It seems it's a bit strange how it's done, but I guess they didn't want to have just drones crashing out of the sky. The one thing that is a bit tricky about the drones generally in terms of how they work is that this drone lives here. Like, he is effectively this port's drone. So he can get fuel here. If you send him off to another port and that's got fuel, he won't refuel there. So it doesn't work like that. It took me some trial and error to figure that bit out. But essentially, as long as his home has got petrol and he can fill up before he goes and he comes back, great. I think the only thing you might hit is, like, sometimes the max, he's not ready to go yet because he's full. I wonder if we can see this. Oh, he's just gone. Yeah, so they're taking like 43 fuel per trip, right, which is about half of what this thing can hold. So if you're trying to send a drone on a really long trip, and he's only going from here to here, right, and that's like half his allowance. So if it gets much more than that, they can't do it. And your fuel type might not be enough to power the trip. It doesn't really tell you if that's the case, so that's to watch out for that one. Anyway. So there we go, that's pretty much all we've got going on here. I did make use of most of the oil that was around here. There's still a pure node over there, and there's still the what do you call this thing again? The oil well in the distance that we haven't pressurized yet. Yeah, so that was quite good. So we got supercomputers ready. We got our high-speed connectors getting manufactured now. So the next thing we want to look at, it's on my notes there at the side. Oh yeah, I skipped batteries, because batteries are quite complicated. I still haven't done them, even right up to where I am now. But from what I understand, they're a better fuel type. I did look them up to see, like, do I want to make batteries? And it does look like they're cool. They're better fuel for, they're more efficient for, like, your drones. I think it used to be the only kind of fuel for drones. And I think drones would be mad not cool if they were only batteries. Yeah, right. Okay, so we're going to we'll skip on again now then. We'll go and see the next save game, hopefully, once I've done the assembly directed systems. Testing supercomputers. Well, look at that. Hang on, let's see. So the time between me starting it, 93 hours, and me finishing testing, 5 and a bit hours-ish to build that whole place. That was crazy. But here we go. Assembly directed system. Let's go. Can't even remember where I ended up doing this. Where does this one... Hang on a sec, why am I here? Lads. What do we need in the assembly director system again? Let's have a look. What parts does it use? Oh, yes. Okay, let's go over here then, see if we can if we're lucky, we might be able to try riding a drone. Should we do that? It doesn't work very well, riding the drones, gotta say. You usually fall off. But what I'd done here is, oh, and pro tip, I had no sync on these items, and they get used very slowly, these supercomputers. So I came back at one point, and this entire place was stopped because these manufacturers were full. So yeah, just make sure you sync stuff, lads. Make sure you sync stuff. Very important. Hopefully, if we're lucky, the drone should be coming back any minute. Come on, lads. Where is he? Cable drop-off's waiting because we got so much cable. That's great. Quick wire guy's back. Where's the... if we have a look on the map, we might be able to see him flying. Oh, that's it. He's just made it to his destination. Curses. All right, we'll take the hypertube cannon. I do like riding the drones, but you fall off a lot. You've got to be lucky to not fall off for a whole journey. Right. So there wasn't too much to show here, I don't think, but we'll just have a quick look. See if I can remember if there were any challenges about it. So essentially we needed to bring those supercomputers somewhere. Well, we needed to bring them to the, what are they called? Adaptive control systems. The little things that we're making down, where are we making them? We're making them actually down, just about down here. They were one of our earlier project parts. We had absolutely loads of them. We were constructing them and they weren't being used. So I extended them, put them on a conveyor, and I've brought them up to here. I think that's the conveyor right there with them on. Let's see, if we just drop down, we should be able to see it. Oh no, it's these ones. That's automated wiring. Is that the right one? Let's have a look, because I think it's this. Is it this one? Oh no, that's going into our adaptive control units, of course. So this is where our adaptive control units is being made. And then those guys are just literally getting sent into here. Oh, there's our supercomputer drone going off. So the drone port is here. He's spitting out the supercomputers into this belt here. If we look, yeah, this takes a long time to fill up, but I think we're only using like 0.5, yeah, 0.75 a minute. So here we go. Assembly director systems are being built. Very simple. They actually go in an assembler, which I thought was quite hilarious. But we've got a sloop in there to just speed it up, even though I didn't need to do that at the time. It took me to do the rest of it. How much have I got at the moment? 23 built so far. So they were quite easy, actually, because like I said, these guys here were not being used for anything else. They were a previous objective. I'd already filled this box, if I remember correctly. Or I'd been filling this box, not quite full. But so, you know, we got plenty of supply to just chew through and finish those off. So that was that one. So the next thing after this was I decided to try and get turbo fuel on the go. So, and I got all excited about unlocking it. In fact, I wonder if we can just demonstrate this real quick. Because I should be at a point where I haven't unlocked it yet. So if we get the, where's my blueprint? My workstation, here he is. If we have a look in here. Oh, I had unlocked them. So I'd unlocked compacted coal, I'd unlocked turbo fuel. I was very excited about using it. But I did get in a bit of a pickle because I didn't have... Hang on, let's have a look at the turbo fuel. I can just do it from here, can't I? I was going to run up to the hub, but we don't need to do that. So, was it this? Oh no, I'm getting confused with rocket fuel. We'll get to rocket fuel soon enough. So turbo fuel. Let's load up a save game and we'll jump over to where that was. Rocket fuel. Oh wait, hang on. Have we already done the turbo fuel? I must have already done it. It's on my list to do in this screenshot, so I don't think, unless I hadn't. Let's you know what we're gonna do? We'll just throw down a little. Let's throw ourselves a launcher, and we'll just go and have a look. Got a power pole here somewhere. I'm sure there's one around. Right, let's go and see. So for this, like we were packaging, we've packaged up the regular fuel in a few places. Oh no, I haven't done it yet, but that's fine. We'll just have a quick look. So I'll load the latest save game and we can come and have a look at this in a minute. But yeah, so at the moment, our turbo fuel here, I don't know if we did this by the end of the last episode, did we? I don't think we did. I think I must have done this off after the last episode. I fully expanded this, you know, so this was producing a whole bunch of power. This is all turbo fuel, very exciting. But what we're going to do is remove a couple of generators off the end, and we're going to start packaging the fuel that they would use. So I'll need some plastic for that and stuff. So let me just see. So let's see, where were we? That was it there. About to start rocket fuel. Rocket fuel. Yeah, the rocket fuel. I'd essentially missed out. I hadn't unlocked the right milestone. You need to unlock the right milestone that lets you process nitrogen and stuff like that. And I hadn't actually got access to that. And this was a little factory I set to start brute forcing some of those tiers. Brute force tier 8, there it is. This actually does become the factory for making these things automated a bit later. But what we'll do, let's we're gonna go look at that turbo fuel first. And now I've actually got some turbo fuel. Look in the bottom left, we can see him. Where do I want to go? God, it's a long way. It is a long way. I love with the fog off. This glitches aside and very obvious pop-in. I love just being able to see everything from super far away. It makes it a lot easier when you're doing this. So, like, this is how I get around now, is just by doing these giant cannon jumps. Right, so you can just see our train there coming across. He's bringing us some plastic containers. Uh-oh. Damn it. That was a poor landing. Too busy talking. Right, but... So you can see, we've just made, a train was probably overkill. You can see the other station just there. It's not actually that far away. But he's just bringing over some containers that come from the other side. This is all sort of backed up to maximum. Why is that? Oh my God. I've never powered up this, have I? So these guys have just been stuck. Why has my power not been fluctuating then? That doesn't make any sense to me. Because this guy should have power. The fact that he doesn't, maybe I fixed it and I don't remember. That's going to cause issues with this, and maybe, God, I've had various power issues that I had to try and solve, but I have solved them. I can't remember them all. In fact, I could just see a yellow light down there, and that will be because this is all starting to back up. I think there was a point I came over and everything had stopped again, you know, not everything, a handful of them had stopped. But anyway, so here's our turbo fuel thing, looking very exciting. And that was it really. There wasn't that much to show with this, but now this just gives us infinite packaged turbo fuel here. Pro tip, you can pin things in this list. So I've just pinned things here that I need to quickly like click and get out sometimes, just because it's kind of helpful. But yeah, now we got turbo fuel, and turbo fuel's become my sort of general go-to. How do I quickly, there we go, the controls, man. Oh wait, what's going on? There we go. Just because it gives you, the turbo fuel gives it a good little speed boost. So it actually feels, it's much faster for just running and jumping around. Good for exploring. You just got to watch out because it burns out real quick compared to the liquid biofuel if you're used to that. Which seems to just last for like, it must feels like about 3 or 4 times as long. But anyway, so there we go. We've got our packaged fuel up and running. It's all very, very exciting. So... like I was saying at the beginning, maybe I'll just, maybe we can just load the game again, actually. It would probably be easier, wouldn't it? Where's that save gone? Brute forcing the milestones. So we'll just have a look at this. So I needed a bunch of the materials here to just make sure we could unlock the milestones. So I just set up real quick, some really basic. I found nitrogen because we needed that. So... we've got this. This is a cool little guy. He's an extractor, or he's a well pressurizer. Sorry, he's got a cool little animation. Dunk, and that causes all of these little sub wells to actually start working, and then you can put these little guys on top. They don't need any power, which is kind of cool, and they're just like extractors for gas. So the pipes are carrying gas in this case instead of liquid, which is great actually because there's no liquid bloody dynamics to work them out, so you don't have to worry about things not filling up or anything like that. It just seems to just work. I'm sure at one point liquid probably worked exactly like this. And I think it probably just should for the ease. But anyway, here we go. We've got this guy here making fused modular frames, and all I was doing was literally, as you can see, I've put a bunch of boxes here. I was just ferrying stuff here to just make all of the stuff with sloops, overclocked where I could, just using as much resources as quickly as I could to just unlock these milestones. This one over here, he's making cooling systems for us. I did need heat sinks for that. I actually did set up that automated over back at our aluminium plant where we started the episode. And over here, this drain station wasn't actually functional at this point. I just put it here so that it could give power. It was an easy way to I just siphoned off a track and just built this here just to get power to these buildings. This guy over here is making our turbo motors, so we actually used some of the cooling systems from the other side, and a bunch of other stuff. But again, I literally was just jumping back and forward, using my cannons to just come and deliver loads of stuff, and then I'd leave it while I was building some other things. So that's that one. After this was rocket fuel, apparently. So yeah, so for rocket fuel we needed, let me have a look, see if we can look at it real quick. Oh, there's my lovely, I can't wait to show you those blueprints. I was very excited with those. So if we look at rocket fuel, I was very excited to set all this up, and I was missing the ability to capture nitric acid. So to make nitric acid, how do we do that? Yeah, at this point, look, I don't even have the recipe for it, so I needed to unlock it still. It was in one of the milestones. So let's load a game, and we'll have a look. Rocket fuel blueprint testing is probably the best way to do it, because we'll have a look at what I built as a sort of starter, and then we can have a look at how I then create some blueprints to make expanding that a lot easier. So rocket fuel is really, really efficient. So when we talked about this before, if we go and look at one of these power stations over here, this should give us a nice little insight into it. So, we looked at this screen before, and you can see how fuel burns at 20 per minute. Turbo fuel, look, was 7.5 a minute. But rocket fuel is 4.167, bizarrely. But almost half. This was like a third, and then this is half of that again, nearly. So it's pretty good, pretty efficient. But what that does mean as well is, of course, it goes so far. The amount of rocket fuel I can make here in this is one sort of min spec setup is enough. It's enough for 10 generators, is what I'm trying to say. But we're processing here just under 120 crude oil a minute. So from 120 crude oil, I'm powering 10 generators. So that's giving us, and each of them is giving us some like 600, I think. So we're getting 6,000 megawatts off of just this. So I built this as just a test. I manually built this one. Just to make sure it ran, and to make sure everything was, to try and just figure out like how I was going to pass things underneath. If we go and have a quick look, you see, well, sorry, we've got some coal coming from over that way, we've got sulfur coming from down that way, and literally you can just see, I just spaghettied the heck out of that. I didn't care about doing it nicely, it doesn't matter. This is a cool big lagoon. This was the first place I ever built an oil power factory on my first save game, actually. But yeah, I knew this place existed, so I was like, I'm definitely going to come here to do this, because this is, this is coming from one pure crude oil thing at the moment of 50%, right, or just under 50%. When you overclock those things, maybe we can go and have a look at that real quick. Come on, let's go faster, please. You get a whole bunch. I can't remember, was it 600, I think. So we'll go and have a quick look at him, just to double check that. I'm pretty sure it's 600. Where's he gone? So yeah, and the thing is, there's like 4 or 5 pure nodes here, which is just absurd. So, yeah, what's the maximum? Come on. Do you like my large amount of these as well? Oh, it's because I finally thought to sloop them in constructors. When you put the slugs in, put them in a constructor, sloop it, you get double power shards. But yeah, he can make 600 at the most, right? And that's not to be sniffed at. That is a lot of power. So we've got like not only 600 from him, 600 from him, etc., etc. So, and the thing is, this thing's only using just over 100, right? So that one node can do almost six of these lines of power. which is why I ended up stopping out. I was planning on using all of the oil here, but it just got so big. I was like, it ain't even worth it. I've got more power than I could ever need. But let's have a quick look then at the blueprints I made to try and make this process a little bit easier. So I just made myself a few blueprints. Are they on my hotbar yet? No, they're not. Interesting. Let's get them on there. So I've just made rocket fuel module A, B, C, D and E, and essentially those are the different sort of parts of this build, and then the repeating one for the power station at the end. So if we just bind them to my keys real quick, and we'll just start using them. So you can see the first one is this one at the end. So he's got the crude oil refinery and a couple of assemblers to make the, what is it called, compacted coal. So I can just plop him down like that when I wanted. Then I can just do the next one, which is the 2 refineries that do the next bit. And just to go like this. And then I've only got a small amount of linking up to do, so we have to do some things like, you know, it was a bit arduous, don't get me wrong, but this saved so much time rather than building everything manually. I really, really appreciated it in the end. I was like, I did a good job making all of this stuff. So it was just a matter of just connecting up a few bits, like the conveyors and the pipes and stuff as we went. But putting these little power lines down like this just meant like all I needed to do was just like connect 2 things up like this to keep it going. And then I'd obviously have to duck underneath, go underground like this, and add in all the underneath stuff as well. So we had a couple of pipes coming in, one with the gas that was needed, one with water, you know, but it was just a really satisfying process to just build up these nice chunky blueprints to just help me do this. So then we've got, what have we got after that? Then we've got this guy who takes the gas. We've got this guy who combines the gas with the turbo fuel to make our rocket fuel. And then I just add a whole bunch of these. And we just popped them all the way down. Pro tip, I found the blueprint mode a bit annoying here because what I'd done is actually made a blueprint for the floor. And it just really messes with the blueprint snapping. I found, like, look at, it's just like, what is going on? So I had to turn it off. But if you want an easy way to get your blueprints to snap together, just point it at, if you imagine this blueprint is in a box that contains its dimensions, or it contains the model entirely, just point it at one side and hold control and it just does that. Very easy to quickly do this then. So yeah, that's how I did that. So if we just quickly zip forwards, hang on, do we want to look at the machines in any detail? I don't think we really need to. We will just have a very quick look just so we can see. So like I said, I did enjoy actually what was really good is with the blueprints just pre-configuring the recipe, the power shards, the percentage, so I didn't have to set any of that stuff up again. You know, the colours, I set all the colours nice in my blueprints so they all look the same. Oh, except for, yeah, these joining bits, we'll talk about that in a minute actually. But yes, using the blueprint's ability to like store this stuff was really cool. The thing I found quite annoying was that I couldn't put, because I didn't include the floor in my blueprint, I couldn't have floor holes in my blueprints, so I had to add them afterwards, which was a bit slow and annoying, but generally fine. So yeah, that was it. What were these? Yeah, just look, having these are this bizarre percentage there, but that is exactly right to use all of the fuel. So let's. Oh no, wait. I wanted to talk about the color thing that I learned while I was playing. So before we have talked about how these are your default swatches, right? So when I build a building, like I don't know, let's build a man. When I build a man, he'll just use whatever is the default color scheme, this one. And if I edit this, of course, you know, we can change that, and it will just change it. You know, it'll change all of the buildings in the game that are in that color scheme will then change in that way. So that's fine. We know that. But what I accidentally discovered recently was that, and I knew there must be a way to do this because I saw something like on a TikTok the other day, somebody building, and all their buildings were in different colors every time. And I think they must have done this. So you can right click on a swatch, and then you can make it the active. So if you make it like active for standard and vehicles, now when I build a building, it will be that color instead. This is now the default color. So that's a cool way to do it. If you want to switch it back, you just right click on this one and click that again. So that's quite cool. It makes building, if you're building some, you know, like a whole factory and you want it to all be a colour without changing your default fix-it colours, that's how you do it. Very good little tip that was. Very pleased with that one. Right, what's next? So let's see. Troubleshooting the rocket fuel, waiting for fuel to balance. It did take a lot of hours, so let's have a look. Rocket fuel first turn was 110 hours. Oh, actually, waiting for fuel to balance was 115, so 5 hours. About 5 hours a project, it seems like, is probably a good estimate. Although there was probably time with me going off cooking, eating, watching the telly, talking to my partner. But here is, I thought you'd like to see the finished sort of article. So here is the finished thing. All running very nicely. As you can see, we've got a whole bunch of power here. So I think we've got 5.5 rows roughly running using just a single pure oil node over there. So if at any point in the future I want, I could just stick another one next to it. I could copy this entire thing and do it above it, and then I'd have double the power. And at the moment, our power is at a pretty good level, if I remember right. So yeah, look, we're up to 50k at this point, which is a heck of a lot of power. I did actually build the, what year is he? This power augmenter. He's one of the save games. We'll have a look at him in a bit. So I did get around to building him. He's okay. I might demolish him just so because he needs 10 sloops just to build, and I probably don't need the power. But anyway, here's my lovely big power station. Isn't it beautiful? It was a very satisfying build. The game, yet again, lives up to its namesake. Right, onwards. What's next? Magnetic field resonators. So this was the next. I called it mag engines. State of it. Right, finished magnetic field generators. Probably the best one to do. Let's load this one. We'll have a quick look at what we did here. So, oh, it's the night time. I hate when it's the night time. Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, I must have just been... Oh, this thing. I need to, like, properly automate this stuff. Because every time I want to make some more ammunition, I need to, like, disconnect this and just fanny about with it, and it never works right. And then I forget, and I come back, and, like, all the plastics stop producing, and all the computers over there are finished, stopped working. You know, it's just... The knock-on effects of just one thing is just so mad. And I don't even need bullets anymore because I turned the fighting off. Anyway, so the magnetic field resonators are actually being sunk, not sunk, we're putting them straight into the hub by the looks of it, because I can see the thing at the top there. So, let's go through here quick. I think they're being made over this way. Let's have a look at what they require again. Ah, yeah, it is these ones. I thought it was. Excellent. Okay. Oh, I wish it was the daytime. Never mind. Let's, if I just plop down our launcher. All the blueprints are in a different bloody order again for some reason. So, for this one, we did do things a little differently. So this train station here, you can see I've got a train line coming up here, going up into where, this is our cave where AI limiters are being made. And it's going over there because we need the versatile frameworks. And then what I also needed, oh golly, hang on, can we do this real quick? Oh, that was a sneaky fuel switch, did you see that? So essentially, let's have a look. Oh, train's coming. Let's see if we can catch a ride. Oh no, that'll do. So, if we look at that, can we... Oh, I can't actually... You can look at the map, but you can't do the... Whatchamacallit? That's a bit of a shame. So, for magnetic field generators, we need some versatile frameworks, which we're already making back at the main sort of factory. But I also needed some electromagnetic control rods, which are a new item. So, and they need stators and AI limiters. So, this factory here was just to set up the... status essentially. So if we just hop over here real quick, this was a very satisfying little thing to make again. Very small, using my nice compact blueprints again, but we just got very simple factory here. And I've just started overclocking stuff like crazy at this point because I don't need to worry about power, right? Look, we're this yellow line and we're right up there. We're using 15k and I'm making like 50k. So we're way safe energy-wise. So everything's just now overclocked machines, just makes things very quick to build. Really digging that. So I think we're making 9, is it? Yeah, 4.5 in here, 4.5 in here. And that's getting sent up to the AI limiters factory. And the reason for that is because that's where we create our magnetic control rods, whatever they're called, something like that. So we'll just run up there real quick. Oh yeah, the propellant upwards on the green, what is it called, liquid biofuel, is so poor compared to the turbo fuel. That's why I love turbo fuel. It's very easy to jump on top of stuff with turbo fuel. You can fly for a long time with this one though. Here he comes again. Choo choo. So yeah, in here, a bit hard to see. So there's our AI limiters over there. Remember we had a road here at one point that never did anything in the end. And then I've just made a nice little... I swear I got rid of all these plans before, but anyway. So we've got a train station here, which is bringing up those stators. They're coming into an assembler over here, which is also peeling off some of our... what are these called again? AI limiters. And that's making us these lovely electromagnetic control rods, which are going into this box. And they're getting sent to here. Just in time, we can catch another train. So this train then picks up these rods. Hopefully we get to witness the glory of the animation right now. Come on. Any minute now. It is a bit slow, isn't it? I did think as I was building all of this stuff, I wish there was an option to do slightly smaller stations. Maybe that had smaller capacity on these or something like that. Just to have the slightly smaller assets. Like this just feels a little bit enormous. These giant bloody train stations. But anyway, down the hill we go. A little bit of a wonky train track, but I was beyond caring about how good things look. I don't know if that's apparent from this series, by the way, that I'm definitely a function over form kind of person. I'm always intrigued by the idea of making things look nice, and I see what other people do, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. And then I try, and then I just find the controls a bit too annoying. Anyway, so there's where they get dropped off. They come down here, and they go into this assembler to make our magnetic field generators. And those are actually being put straight on a belt. This is the belt, the same belt then that used to take these versatile frameworks up to the top. So they're just going up here and they go all the way up into our, what's that thing called again? What is that thing called? Space elevator. Bloody hell. Brain. All right, cool. So what did we do after this? Let me have a look. All right, then we're getting on to, then I started going for the next one. Can we have a look at that yet? Thermal propulsion rocket. So this guy was hard, and what this guy meant was that I was going to have to start automating the things that I was too scared to automate. They're the things that I brute forced to get some of the milestones unlocked. So the other complication for that one was that we got modular engines here as well, and we are making modular engines already. I don't know if you remember, dear viewer, but they're stored right on top of this factory here. So it's the motor factory is where we're keeping the I just thought if I put fog 1 on, makes it a bit more visible in the night time, doesn't it? But we'll live. I'm sure you guys are coping just fine back there. So anyway, let's load a save game. I'm trying to think. So let's think. Booster installed. Or maybe we'll load this one real quick just so we can chat about that. So this is that alien power augmented thing. So I'll plug that in. It does look cool. I mean, look at it. It is a cool looking asset for sure. That looks very nice. And if you use it, it's got a yellow light, and I presume that's because you can feed things in, or because we're not feeding things in. I did Google it just to see how it actually worked. And the general consensus seems to be that it isn't worth doing because it takes too much resources to fill it with stuff that makes it give you a tiny bit more power or something weird like that. Can't remember the specifics. But essentially, if you look here now, what you can see it does, we've got this bit over here, static power. So you always get 500 just for building it. So that's kind of cool. That's like a free power station that doesn't need any resources. So that's quite nice. And it's given us a 10% circuit boost, which is equivalent to 5,000 because we were making approximately 50. It seems weird that it's exactly 5,000. So I don't know. I haven't looked this part, but I'm presuming it must do it. It must round it or something like that. Because I wasn't creating exactly 50,000, I don't think. But anyway, pretty cool. So that's how this works. He is nice, but like I said, he costs 10 Soma sloops. So I think I might go and delete him at some point and get those back. Wrong menu. So booster installed. Oh, we're in the top page of save games now. Turbo motors, rubber done, motors next. Oh, I'm just trying to see. Oh. As you can see, I was getting very excited about my nuclear pasta getting set up. I thought I had more saves in between here, but it seems like not. So we'll load this one first. So I did have a little sheet open. Let me just see if I can find it quick. You can see the top drawer effort that I go to when I make my own notes. Was it in this one? Come on, loading. Yeah. So I'd made this little sheet where I'd taken screenshots. I had it on my second monitor, which is in a portrait orientation, so I could fit a lot more on one view. But here was me just keeping track of everything that I needed to make. So the first thing I decided out of all of this stuff that I wanted to make was rubber. So that's what we ended up doing here. So this is where my supercomputer factory is. It's this nice beach area that's got lots of oil on it. So I had one pure node left, so I just plugged him in. I've actually made some manifold. What are these called? These buildings, refineries, and yeah, having them with just the pipe set up already and stuff. Oh, so helpful. So yeah, use blueprints if you don't, lads. It's very good. But anyway, so all we've got here is just a couple of guys making some rubber. The byproduct of the what is it called, heavy oil residues getting turned into fuel. That fuel is then coming back into this guy where we're making some recycled plastic. So I'm just taking a little bit of the rubber and using the fuel that we're making. It took me a while to balance it and get the numbers to work, but it's just in a nice happy medium right now. I did have to adjust it and I've boosted it. I'm not sure it's working correctly. I'll find out when my drones eventually run out of fuel, I think. And even if they did, if you remember when we were talking about that place is making like 60 more fuel than it needs. So I'll just start stealing some of that and bring it over this way. But anyway, I wanted to make some packaged fuel. So the objective for this little factory was to send the rubber off to our factory that's going to be making these next set of items, all the rubber we need, and fuel for the drones that were going to be set up there to go and collect the other stuff that's also needed for the recipes. So that was it. I thought I might have done some more building on this part, because I know I built like a train station and stuff here eventually, but alas, it seems like they're not done just yet. So that's what these guys were doing. But this was fun mainly because it was the first time I'd used like one of these funny alternates, and I was like, oh, can I make this work so I don't have to produce plastic and then deal with that byproduct? Although in some ways now I am thinking it maybe would have been easier for me to just make some plastic and then just enough to, because it's quite a tricky balance trying to make sure that you're using enough fuel to make plastic, but then you've still got enough fuel to use all of the containers that you're making, because we don't want this to stop. This can't stop production, or else it's going to screw things up further down the chain, right? So that was quite a challenge, and it's okay. This was perfectly balanced and worked fine, but like I said, I expanded it, and it's a bit flaky from now, but we won't worry about that for today. So next, train track build. Okay, let's go and have a look at this. Or should we just go on thermal rockets done? Let's just do that. We'll go straight on to thermal rockets done, and we'll go and have a quick look around. Because I was quite pleased with some of the other stuff I've built. Okay, so this is the resulting factory. So this is the end product now of our... this is that same place where I'd set up those manufacturers to just brute force some of the objectives. I didn't even move the buildings. I just expanded it out and just put some drone ports around. We've increased the size of this station, just belted everything up. So what I'm going to do first is I'll fly back. Oh, here comes the train right now, dropping off some stuff. If we just take this rather large hypertube cannon here, is a really big one, this one. Go all the way over here. You can see we've just got, it is mad. Look, I've got a big road that goes all the way around the entire map pretty much now. It's very cool. So right in the distance there, you can see that's our rubber factory that we were talking about a minute ago. And he's got a train station there, and you can see the train line comes this way, and that heads to here. So the next part of my plan for this place was to build the what they called motors. So this is a little motor factory. I'm hoping we can get a bit closer. Can I get some power plate? Nope. Never mind, thankfully. Soft landing in the water. Come on. We'll have a look. There's a cool thing under here. I'll talk about that in a minute. I was very satisfied that I had the brainwave to do that one. So this, before I built all of this rail, I did actually just build this factory. So this is our motors factory. Very straightforward again. This is where I started actually when I started my second save game. It's a lovely little spot here with 3 iron nodes. There's a couple of lime by here. There's 3 copper, I think, just up the road. Very good little starting place this is. But yeah, so this is just, where's our miners? We've got a couple of miners here. And this was the point, at this point of the game actually, I'd upgraded all of these blueprints to all be Mark V belts and Mark V lifts, which just makes sure that everything's on max throughput all the time now, which is just great. These are actually Mark III miners, and they're chunky as heck. I really like what they look like. They're cool. So we're actually using a whole bunch of resources here. So we've got 240 coming out of him. 240 coming out of him as well. So we've got 480 iron a minute coming through. And just like this stuff is just getting processed into all the bits we need to make some motors. And I think we're making about, how many was it? 7.5 motors per minute, which we're easily managing. So that's great, and just ticking along real nice. Now this stuff under here, this was something I wanted to build just because it was getting very resource intensive, like building these big roads. You know, when you're building so much concrete, my what's it called, dimensional depot can only hold so much. If we look real quick, let's just say, so here's my foundation, right? How much is that? It's like nearly 200 every time, and I can only hold 2,000 in my dimensional depot. So yeah, as you can imagine, I was burning through it very quickly because I can only put about 10, 12 of these before I run out of concrete. So what I did down here was I've just got a max overclocked lime node here, spitting out as much lime as it can. That's coming into a whole bunch of overclocked constructors, because we don't need to smelt it, do we? And it's just getting turned into concrete. Now that concrete's going into this double box setup and gets sunk when not needed. But what I thought to do, you see, was set up a whole bunch of these, because just filling up one dimensional depot at a time, you're limited to whatever your current upgrade level is, right? So we can do 120 per minute. But there's nothing stopping you doing it like several times like this. So this isn't 120 per minute anymore. This is 120 times 7. Well, that's 7 or 8. 7. Why did I do 7? What a weird amount. Anyway, so what that means now, of course, is if I build that blueprint again, if I just chuck one down over here, you should see all of these guys just suddenly start going, see? So it just means my concrete just fills up much, much quicker. And you can see if I just slap a bunch of these real quick, and we just look at the concrete count, you can see it's just jumping up in like big steps, 10, 15, 20 at a time. So it just meant I could just build a lot more efficiently without running out of concrete all the time, which I was very grateful for. All right, so off you go. Can we jump on you quick, and we'll come for a ride? So that was the main parts that we needed to produce in addition to stuff we were already making for our for the next thing. So we wanted to, heat sinks were already been done. We wanted to automate the cooling system, fuse modular frames, and then manufacture the what they call thermal rocket something or other. I don't know, thermal something rocket. So yeah, we just grabbed that stuff. In fact, what's in this box? Oh, so you got the fuel for the drones, of course. He's got the rubber. And this guy's got the engines, motors, sorry. Ah, nostalgia. Remember when I built this place? It is interesting. I feel like I've definitely, like, over the last sort of 50 hours since finishing that series and carrying on playing this, I really feel like I've leveled up in like how I can think about a problem and fix it, which has been actually really, really satisfying. Oh, and I've just remembered a weird little problem I had with this train. These trains here generally. So I haven't done anything fancy with the train stations, right? I've just done... There's a complicated junction here with a bunch of block signals. I think I could probably figure out a way to figure out path signals and make it more efficient so they don't all have to stop or whatever. But I did have an issue that you might encounter at some point, dear viewer, which is that the trains kept getting stuck in the junction. And one would be stuck in the junction while another one was like coming behind him. And I figured out that it was essentially because it probably... Oh no, it looks like I've moved them at this point. The stop signals were too close. So the whole train length couldn't fit in the bit in between. So you need to just make sure, you know, if you've got like a 6 carriage long train, you need your block sections to be at least long enough for that train to fully fit in and get out. Otherwise the trains, you know, you'll have one train partially in, one train just leaving, and the other one tries to come in, and then they both sort of get stuck because they both get stuck at a red light. It's a weird scenario. I hope that made sense. I couldn't think of a better way to explain it off the cuff. But anyway, so all of that stuff gets brought here then, and the thing that was left to do was just to add on some additional sort of drone capacity to bring in all the extra stuff. So I've got a load of drones here. And that's why I'm slightly worried about the amount of fuel, although at the same time, the drones are not flying very frequently because everything that they're using is getting used quite slowly here. So they're sitting around waiting to fly a lot of the time. So hopefully, and none of this belt is completely full. The fuel storage box is full. So I'm not worried about it too much at the moment. But yeah, we just got, you know, different ones around the place to bring in the different pieces from around the map. And then this is our manufacturer here who's making our thermal propulsion rockets. And at this point of the save, how much did I have? Oh, none. We'd literally just done it. So I think he's finished now. My nuclear pasta's nearly finished. So yeah. So that's how we got to that part. And then it was from here, I just needed to create the nuclear pasta. So we're going to load that save game. Because what I'd really like to do... We're still waiting for the pasta to cook. That's what we'll do. We'll skip right straight to there. Because it was actually a lot more straightforward to set up than I thought it would be. Which did surprise me a little bit, not gonna lie. Particle accelerators are cool. I like the noise they make. So these are the particle accelerators. They are a kind of manufacturer / constructor building, and they're making our nuclear pasta. So nuclear pasta isn't that hard. We needed 2 ingredients, one of which is copper powder. So the copper powder recipe was pretty nuts, I'm not gonna lie. If we have a look, have I got it here? I'm sure I've got it on the screen here somewhere. If we have a quick look, where's it gone? Yeah, so to make that, to make enough, hang on, that noise sounds really loud in my headphones, but it's probably alright. But yeah, I needed 1200 copper a minute to do that. 1200, which is a lot. So I've done that though in this tiny little setup here actually. I was quite pleased that I managed to make it so small. Again, God bless these amazing smelter blueprints I made. They have absolutely done the business, those little guys. So again, we've just got some minor Mark IIIs right here, pumping out 600 per minute each. These are just normal nodes, by the way, as well, I think. Normal? Yeah. So, but we're getting our 1200 ore from both of those there. I had to keep them separate belts because the fastest belt I've got is 780, I believe. Yes. So, I think there is one more above this. I've seen the icon of it in the screen. I have no idea how fast it is, but I know there's one more. It looks like looks a bit like it's just made out of light. It's quite exciting. Looking forward to getting that. So yeah, we've got these guys coming in. They're each going into a bank of 8 smelters. And these smelters, you can see, are really chewing through this stuff. But again, these guys are all max overclocked. They're taking 75 a minute and making 75 ingots a minute. So they're just absolutely steaming that stuff. Have I got a power line somewhere? I just want to see. So at this point, we're using, you know, I've built everything I need to finish phase 4, I think. So if we look at this. Oh, interesting. Oh, is that where... Yeah, we didn't talk about the particle accelerators are interesting. They're power fluctuates as you use them. I've got so much headroom, though, I don't think I really need to worry about it. But look, you know, even max consumption is still barely over... Well, where are we at? About 2/3. So I think we're completely safe power-wise for now. Haven't done nuclear. I think that might be my next... You can just see them, actually, on my to-do list there on the left, on the right-hand side. Question mark? So I might do that just to, as a next objective, just to do it. I should also really do batteries, because I feel like I'm missing out by not trying them at least. But anywho, so those guys are now cracking on. We've got this, we were talking about this copper powder, so that's just making all those copper bars, and they're just coming into 4 constructors, look. These constructors, 200%. I need 600 copper ingots a minute. Which we can just about manage in these level 5 belts and lifts, so we're getting there, we're doing it. So yeah, very good stuff, very good stuff. They're all running at hundreds. Oh wait, they're running at 50. I didn't think about it, I've just realised I'm not thinking about this properly. Yeah, I should have had them at 50%. Hang on a sec. I need to think about this just a second. But these guys, why have I put him on 200%? He should just be on 100%. Don't worry about it, I'll just leave him for now. We're definitely making enough, I think, to keep us going. We've got loads in the box. So anyway, pressure cubes. So pressure cubes are the other component. Have I got a nearby? Yeah, there's a left over there. So, and in fact, how many have we got? Are we close to getting the... Oh, look at that, I only need 24 more. They do take quite a while, though. I've got 2 per minute. That's 12 minutes. Don't know if we're quite gonna do that. We might have to just. I might pause the recording and wait till they're done. We'll go and complete phase 4 together, shall we? That'd be quite exciting, wouldn't it? This little spot just right here, by the way. This is just a little. As we talked about earlier, this is just my little place for creating more power shards. Because this is very, you know, like I said, I'm overclocking everything all the time now, so I'm actually starting to chew through my power shards quite a lot. But having said that, though, how many have I got? Oh, I've got 300 in the box. That was from my last little batch of processing. Right. So this was our motor factory. He looks like he's still ticking along just lovely. Off we go. I'm just going to fly back over one more time. I think one of the funniest parts of this, the experience of playing this game to me, is how small the map seems now. And I don't think the map is small, I just mean when I first played this, this game felt so big, like unbelievably big. But now I'm kind of used to it and I know my way around a bit. It's a lot smaller than it seems. And especially when you get used to like just shooting yourself around with cannons and stuff. Very fun. So over here, you can see I've got a little purple train station there. That's sending off our cubes that we need. And those cubes were so easy to make. I already had enough stuff, essentially. So they just needed these fused frames. I think we needed 1. And this guy needs 2. How many am I actually making? Oh, hang on. I thought I checked this. Yeah, maybe I've miscalculated something there. But we've got plenty of stock at the moment. I do need to keep an eye on that though. Have I overclocked this? I think, yeah, that's it. Because if this was at 100%, he would only be using 1. That's what it is. So I've left him overclocked just so he can produce as much as possible. But I think we are coming a cropper because I've not got enough modular engines for some reason. Although I think that's them getting shipped in right now. Should be. Let's have a look. Are you giving me some modular engines, please? I do love these Mark V belts. You just stand on them accidentally. You go so far. Come on. I want to see them come out, please. Any minute now? Way, there they go. How many did he bring? That is a very small amount. Huh. We need to troubleshoot that one for sure. Let me just make a note of that, because this is my up-to-date save now. So check mod engines. Oh, I've run out of text. God damn. Well, I can start clearing this list soon. Right, but anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yes, so I've just siphoned off a few of these fused frames and a few radio control units I was bringing in for something else as well, because I'm overproducing those definitely. And they're just popping into this one assembler. He's making one per minute. They're just going up to wait to be picked up here. Oh, quick, how many do we make? Look, he's only going to take 3. Last time he took 4. But it's working out just about fine. So I'm not going to worry about that, even if the machines end up stalling a little bit from time to time. There he goes, go on. You're not going to get in, are you? Because they're doing a collection. Curses. But it's all good. And I mean, if I wanted to, I could drop in a thing here. What we might do, though, because I do want to kill a tiny bit of time before we try and see if we've completed the nuclear pasta. Oh, one thing, I meant to talk about this when we first unlocked the jetpack. My favourite thing about the jetpack is you can interact with buildings from so far away now. I don't know why it doesn't just work like this all the time, to be honest. Or why there isn't a key you could press, maybe, to let me just interact with that box from here. That would be so bloody good. But anywho, let's go and check our modular frames. They're right on top of our main base. I think we might need to change to liquid biofuel for this jump. Oh, flying over my domain is so good. So good. Right. So if we stop here, this is where those guys are getting picked up, I believe. So this should be it. So you're making 2.5 a minute. And that's with an output multiplier of 2 times. I definitely not got this set on the wrong setting or anything. No, it's overflow only that way. So yeah, we're just not getting many of them. And then, where were they being used? What was using them again? It's that thermal propulsion rocket, wasn't it? Yeah, and he needs 2.5 a minute. So I should be making exactly the right amount, but I think it's just coming a cropper because of the time it takes to deliver and stuff like that, really. It does get a bit hard. What I might do, I'm going to upgrade these to max, just to make sure that when we're sending stuff, putting stuff in here, that it's getting there as fast as possible. And hopefully, if we just wait a second and watch this now, we should see it just fly in, basically. 56, 57. Because I don't think I can increase, or maybe I could increase this production. We might be able to tune this up a tiny bit. Maybe get ourselves to 3 a minute. Just to make sure we've got enough. So it does seem a little bit like we're struggling. 5, 6, 7, 8, 99, 100. Bloop. There they go. Straight in. Cool. So how long does the route take? Oh, it doesn't tell me from here, does it? If we go to all ports. Oh, wait. Drone status cannot unload. Oh, that's all right. That's fine. Cannot unload is fine. That just means we're full, and he'll just wait there until he can unload. I've got no problems with them doing that. So what we wanted to see was mod engine drop off. So the maximum transfer rate is 2.57 stacks per minute, which is averaging out exactly what we need. Battery consumption is interesting because it should mean, I think that means fuel consumption. Hey mate. I love that guy. Okay, well that seems to be okay. I don't know what to do about it otherwise though. I think we're just going to have to relax and maybe try it again in a sec. We'll try and ride the drone back as well once he gets here. Is this him now? Here he comes. Hi, little fella. I do like the drone design. I think it looks really cute. They look like little bugs. There we go. Come on. You watch, we'll fall straight off. Sometimes you're lucky and you get to ride it for ages, though. One thing I have learned is you just don't crouch. I'm trying to. I haven't tried standing on the back much, so we'll try standing here. See how this works. Sometimes they they bank and tilt really severely. What's that noise? Picking stuff up? Oh, he's powering back up, I think. That's it. Come on. Come on. We're going to do this. That's what I'm talking about. Here we go. Please let me stay on. Don't just like fling me straight off. I'll be so sad. Yeah, just don't move, don't crouch, don't do anything. And if you're lucky, you'll stay on. It's when it changes elevation or like turns, that's when it tends to sort of just throw you off. That's a nice way to see the base, isn't it? Choo choo. Oh, it does feel proper alive now. We got all my little drones going. And my little choo choos. Fed up of cars though, don't think I'm ever going to use them again. They're annoying. I do find it a bit perplexing that they've made trains so appealing because they run on electricity. They're so easy to set up compared to everything else because you don't need fuel. And yeah, I just think that was a bit of a mistake maybe. Look at that, we managed to ride it the whole way here. So is this guy still waiting? Is he using more than 2.5? Yeah, look, he's on. So that, I think what's happened here is I set it like this because at the beginning I had a big stockpile of modular engines, but we've chewed through them now, so it's not really doing it anymore. So if I'll drop him back to 100%, and now hopefully what will happen is, going forward, he'll just be ticking along just about right every time a delivery comes in. But hey ho, right. What shall we do? We probably still haven't got enough time to... We still haven't spent enough time waiting for our nuclear pasta to be full. Can I actually craft nuclear pasta at a crafting station? Let's see. Because if we can, I might make some. Just see if we can... No. Of course you can't. It's a project part. You can never do that with the project parts. It's the whole point. Okay, but what you can do though is craft some of the other things. Like I should be able to do like fused... We do fused cubes? No. Oh, dang. Okay, maybe not then. So we'll give up on that as an idea. I thought maybe that would be something we could do to try and pass some time. So what we'll do, let's we'll ride the train back. I like riding the trains. Ooh, that was a weird view. Maybe I'll just stand on top, actually. There we go. And what we might quickly do is if I grab... I'll just talk about something else that I thought was really cool on this. Right, so satisfactorycalculator.com's got a map feature and you can upload your save game, which is so good. So I can upload my most recent autosave like this very quickly once you've done it once. And it knows what folders to look in. And it just shows you all your stuff. It's very handy. I ended up choosing to learn about this and use this because ultimately it was getting on my nerves that I had to run somewhere else just to check a machine to see how much it's producing. But this way we can zoom in. Hang on, let's find some. What are we looking at here? What's this place? There you go. That's my manufacturer making sand fluctuators. Oh, it's making 10 per minute and it needs this much stuff. So it's just so much quicker for me to check all of this stuff without having to run around the map all the time, you know. Very, very useful. It's one of those things, again, that just makes me think, Coffee Stain Studios, lads, why is that not in the game? Why is it so hard to show me my stuff on the map? I don't believe it should be. I find it especially strange that things happen like what's the word I'm looking for? Like the notes. You know when you use your scanner like this? And you go like that, and then it shows you where things are on the map. Why don't those just stay on the map forever now that I've done that? I don't understand why it doesn't work like that. It's so finicky having to make your own map markers for basic things like this. You might notice I haven't, if you're a more experienced player, I have uncovered pretty much the whole map, but I haven't actually put any radar towers down. And again, that's because I just started using this when I wanted to find resources, because it was just easier. You know, like, it's just so much easier and quicker for me to just come into this map and go, how do we do it? You know, like, show me all the iron ore in the world. There we go. Instead of me going around, traipsing around, having to manually put down loads of things. Just, no brainer. No brainer. Right, so how are we doing, guys? How much have we got? Are we nearly there? Oh my god! We are exactly there. That's fantastic. We'll let them keep going. I need to probably come and add sinks here at some point, because I'm going to just leave this running. But knowing my luck, you're going to need this stuff in the next tier, I'd imagine. So where do I want to go next? We want to go back to... Hang on. I think I've got a cannon over here. We'll use this one. We'll hop back to the sort of turquoise... No, what colour is it? Teal. Factory where we're making the thermal rockets. I will grab a bunch of those, because I should definitely have those ready. And we'll go and hand in this, what's it called? Phase 4 is going to be completed, lads. I've still got the story stuff turned off. I was tempted to turn it back on so I could hear what happens, but we're not going to do that on this video. I think I might just do that in another save game at some point, because I'm still no less obsessed with this game. Yeah, look at my quad tracks. I could probably change this to be like a dual track and figure out a clever way to make it work. But I don't, at the same time, I don't really think I need to. Why has he stopped at the moment? Oh, he's waiting. Yeah, see, you can definitely optimize this, because they do stop quite a lot, waiting for the others to go through. But it's all good. It's all good. It's working well enough for me anyway. But they are little things that just irk me that I'm like, oh, I could probably do that. You know, the whole game is about doing things slightly more efficiently every time, right? So I'm definitely getting those feels. Right. We need 5 stacks of these. There they are. Delicious. Let's hop in here real quick. And we'll head on home for the last time for this episode. We'll go and drop this stuff off, and then we'll have a quick look at what the tiers got, because I've never been this far before. I haven't even looked online to see what's in this tier, so this is going to be good. We'll have a quick look at what sort of technologies we've got. I think this used to be the old end of the game, right? Phase 4 was the end, and Phase 5 was added as a 1.0 thing. So off you go, laddos. Seal the deal. Very, very exciting. Boom. Let's go and watch the transformation. Whoop whoop. Phase 4 of the space elevator complete. Woo! Wasn't even cloudy today. Usually it blows away the clouds. That's looking pretty cool. Oh my god, it's made a big engine. Is it gonna fly away? Is that what happens? And they just leave us here? Oh, is that going to be the next phase? Is that it? Oh. Slightly disappointed by that. But cool. Alright. I am suspicious of these big engines. Right. Complete phase 5. 1,000 nuclear pasta? Is that what that is? Oh my god. Well, at least I'm already making them. But bloody hell. In fact, let's go and see if we go up here. Let's see what they are from here. 1,000 nuclear pasta, 1,000 biochemical sculptors, 256 AI expansion servers, 200 ballistic warp drives. Mate, what the heck are these things? Okay, tier 9, matter conversion. Let's have a quick look. Converter harnesses reanimated SAM to enable precise matter and energy. Oh, I think this is probably the thing you use. So do you remember before we talked about sometimes when I've used this tool, it uses these funny recipes. Like, hang on, I found the ways you put. So, you know, bauxite from Caterium or bauxite from copper. So that's what those are. That's the machine that's going to use those, I think. And it obviously uses SAM as well. Oh, wow. And you get... Bloody hell, can you imagine getting to this phase of the game without discovering this stuff? Oh, time crystals. That's the thing you need to finish the Power Slug's skill tree that I've never done before, and it's been there and confused me for ages. Fixite ingot, produced by reconstructing other metals on a molecular level using strange alien matter. Sweet, perfect construction material. Oh, okay. Interesting. The Fixite trigon, made from Fixite ingots, is perfectly shaped for all construction challenges. So its performance is so exceptional, it basically solved structural engineering. Amazing. Diamonds. Oh, wow. Using the production of time crystals and dark matter crystals. And yeah, just down there then, is there any way we can... Let's let it scroll a minute. If you look at the bottom of this description, power usage 250 to 750, 500 average. That's exclusive to the particle accelerator. The energy goes up and down during the process. Time crystal. Time crystals are diamonds that have been reconfigured on a subatomic level in the converter to retain a time-periodic self-organizing structure. This allows them to be used in the development of quantum processing and storage tech. That sounds nuts cool. No idea what we're going to get out of that. Biochemical sculptor. That's project part number 10. Years ahead of the competition, this top-of-the-line 3D printer is used for the production of synthetic biological resources. Amazing. Wait, like copies of me? That'd be cool. Quantum encoder. Wow. Uses excited photonic matter to produce the most complex of parts. Power usage is extremely high and unstable. Sounds delicious. Excited photonic... Dudes, this stuff is crazy. Dark matter residue. Jesus. So these are just like, you know, more gases / liquids. Dark matter crystal. Okay, we can make that. These are just like... What sort of stuff are we making? A superposition oscillator uses the mechanical resonance of a vibrating crystal to create a string vibration with precise... Yeah, we're getting into quantum shit here. For the record, I don't understand anything about quantum mechanics, quantum science, quantum anything. I listen to stuff. I've tried. I find it very hard to get my head around, but it's also lovely and I love things that are mind-blowing like that. Okay, this stuff doesn't sound like exciting. So this is just like going to be hardcore pushing it, isn't it? Blueprint Designer Mark III. Bit late, don't you think, to get a Blueprint Designer Mark III? That's an interesting one. Portals? Why is that scrolling so fast? That is cool though. Portals is excellent. If that does, yeah, enables Pioneer teleportation between two linked portals. Friggin' sick, dude. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I'll try and make some of those for sure. Peak efficiency. Oh, there it is, conveyor belt Mark 6. Oh, what's that? 1200? Fixonium? Usage and production of this material is strictly prohibited on Earth, that is. There are no rules in space, only efficiency. Wow. Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, I'd probably aim for this one first, and we need to get... So I'm probably going to prioritise making these things, because the idea of getting these really sexy belts is very appealing. Well, wowzers, guys. There we go. We've done it. Tier 4 is complete. Tier 5 begins. Thanks for hanging out with me. I think we're going to go. Let's see if we can get a nice view of our base before we say goodbye. What a friggin' cool game this is. Still going strong after all this time. I can't believe it. Cannot believe it. But yeah, cool. Guys and girls, thank you all for hanging out as always. I'm going to tune out for now, and I'll probably be back in another week or two, who knows, with some more updates. I'll try and do a Phase 5 update once I've got it. All the best. Catch you in the next one.